Hey y'all, welcome to my channel or welcome back. It's a dark again because I just got off work. Well, I'm home now in my parking lot. And I just wanted to talk about, and if you hear some noise in the background, that's because it's raining outside. But I just wanted to talk about third shift. I know a lot of people, when it comes like being a CNA or in the health field, especially if you're like a new CNA, people think that working third shift is just so easy. Like you don't have to really do much. It's easy money. They get paid. You get paid more at most places to work third anyway. So, I'm getting paid more and I'm doing less work and it's easy. Now, that may be the case at some places. Third shift is more uh laid back. You don't have to deal with passing out trays, dinner trays, or anything like that. For the most part, you're not dealing with family members. I think like if a patient is dying or something like that, they may have family there, like they're on hospice or whatever. If they're looking for the patient to die, the family might stay with them because they want to be there when some family members really want to be there when the loved one takes their last breath and things like that. But for the most part, third shift doesn't have to deal with family members and upper management and stuff like that. But there's at some places third shift is not just a piece of cake like you would think it is. And I say that from experience. Um, at some places, third shift has what you called a get up list, which means you're assigned to get up certain patients on your assignment. Now, for example, the place that I work at now, I don't work third there, I work second there. But some of the third shift people come in at 7. Some of them do 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Some of them only do the 11 p.m. To 7 a.m. But from talking to this guy, he does the 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And I saw like in the notebook that at this place, third shift does have a get up list. And they have to get up almost like all of the people that are or Hoyer lift. Now, if you don't know what a Hoyer lift is, that's basically when you use a Hoyer lift to transfer patients that are non-weight bearing, meaning they can't stand, they can't walk, they can't do any of that. You can't stand them up like manually because of whatever reason, or it's not safe to have them stand manually. So you have to put them on a lift. It's a process depending on the patient. Normally it's easier, let's say if you have a patient that's kind of small, they don't weigh a lot, it's not that bad. But depending on the patient, it's a lot of work using a Hoyer lift to get somebody out of bed or to put somebody in the bed or the chair. You have to turn them, put the lift pad under them, and lots of times, I don't know if it's required by the state that you have two people when you're doing a Hoyer lift transfer, but most places really they want you to have two people when you're using a Hoyer lift. I'm not sure if that's a state law or not in North Carolina. If it is, let me know. There's lots of times where CNAs we do a Hoyer lift by ourselves if the patient is easy. Then we'll just go ahead and do it by ourselves. But if it's like a heavy patient, or if I just don't feel comfortable doing it for whatever reason, I get a second person because I ain't taking no chances. So anyway, yeah, third shift is not always easy like people think it is. Because between like 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock, you are busting your ass to do your last round. And especially if you have a get up list, that makes it even harder. I honestly feel like the amount of work third shift does between 4:30 to 5:30 in the morning to 7 in the morning, they do just as much as work in those 2 hours. Not just as much, but they do a lot in them 2 hours. Like when it gets to be 5 o'clock on third to do your last round, you running, you racing against that clock trying to get these people changed, and if you have to give them up, and sometimes let's say you might have a patient that has a really early doctor's appointment, even if they're not normally on your get up list, you'll have to get them up. And lots of times on third shift, there's less staff because the upper management, whoever's in charge, feels like, oh, you don't need, this many staff members at night because y'all ain't doing as much work. So let's say somebody calls out, you might have 20 patients, 25, 30. I made a video about this one time, like a year ago, when I was working through an agency. Me and this other girl, we were the only two CNAs for third shift, and we had like 35 patients each. And that is a lot. That's a lot of work. And lots of times with third shift, supplies run out. A lot of places third shift just gets the scraps that's left over from first and second. So by the time third shift gets there, there's barely any washcloths, wipes, things like that. And there's no housekeeping. There's really nobody to go to for supplies. So you just have to make do with what you have. Even for nurses, in some places I've heard of nurses complain like, I'm the only nurse for this entire unit on third shift. This was a long time ago. A nurse told me it was kind of scary, like being the only nurse in the whole nursing home or the only nurse for the entire unit, even if it is third shift. When you work at a nursing home in nursing or anywhere in nursing, anything can happen any second. Somebody could die just like that at 5 in the morning. They don't have a certain time, or any type of emergency can happen anytime. And she said to her, it was just scary knowing she's the only nurse there. Like, or a cold blue can happen. And typically, a nurse, CNAs can do CPR. Some places don't want CNAs to do CPR. But like, let's say a cold blue happens and you're the only nurse on the whole unit. I've heard nurses talk about that. That could be very, for them, just they don't like that. So third shift is not as easy as you think it is, and not every patient sleeps all night. There's some patients that will be up all night. I know that from experience. So just keep in mind, if you applying to work third shift, you think you ain't gonna have to do shit. Like I said, it can be laid back at some places, but other places, and like for me, I'm sorry, but I'm not working nowhere on third shift where I have a get up list and I have to get up like 3, 4, 5 Hoyer lifts. No, because in my opinion, okay, if I'm putting an application in for a job to work third, I'm thinking, I do my round every 2 hours, check on everybody. Normally third shift, they replace everybody's water cups. If you use like the paper kind, the disposable kind, they have to change everybody's water cups and stuff like that. But getting up people, especially Hoyer lifts and stuff like that, I feel like if I wanted to get people up and stuff, I would apply to work first shift. Because when you work first shift, you know what you're getting into. You know you're going to have to get people up and dressed, brush their teeth and all that stuff ready for the day. You know that, or that's what you expect if you're applying to work third shift. But some places just aren't like that. Like I remember years and years and years and years ago, one of my first CNA jobs, I worked third at this place, and it got to the point where we got up like half the people on third shift. And so I remember and at this place, first shift, they were some bullies. They were some bullies. It was like I was in high school at this place. Pretty much first shift they got to do whatever the fuck they wanted. It was like a Mean Girls type of thing, but like a workplace environment. And I remember one day I was running behind, and I was running like 10, 15 minutes behind. I forgot what happened. So I'm supposed to get off at 7. It was like 7:10. And over there, we had to take the trash out at the end of our shift, right? So I finally got done, and then I go outside to throw my trash away. And I see all the people that work first shift, all the CNAs, the med techs. This is supposed to be assistant living place, so they had med techs, but it was, to me, it really wasn't no assistant living. But anyway, So I see them, right, and I'm the whole purpose of having a get up list for third shift is to make things easier for first shift, because first shift is supposed to be the busiest shift, right? They got a lot to do on first, right? So that's supposed to be helping them out. But when I went outside to throw my trash away, every CNA and med tech that was on first shift was all literally standing outside in a circle smoking. And this was like at 7:10, so they had just got there. This shift have just started. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm struggling and stuff. I'm like, first shift can't be that damn busy. Y'all out here smoking. Like, we in high school, like, they in their little clique. And I'm like, what? So to me, that was just bullshit. Like, y'all can't be that damn busy, honey. So third shift, that's why I want to make this video, to let y'all know third shift is not always a piece of cake. Depending on where you work at. And also another thing, I'm gonna make a part 2 to this video because the video is already long. But don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video.